Hello and welcome to Workplace Wisdom. I'm Natalie Holder, an employment lawyer and workplace strategist who helps startups and founders create organizational cultures that drive profit and revenue. Let's talk about benefits and perks, something that we have been hearing about given Deloitte and Zoom's recent decisions to scale back on parental leave. Now, this decision may not trigger a mass exodus in today's employer-driven market, but the real cost won't show up in resignation numbers. It may show up in discretionary effort, in how deeply people feel supported, and in how motivated people are going to feel when it comes to going the extra mile for their clients. This is why it's important that companies constantly assess their total rewards offerings to employees and the necessary adjustments to consider during market changes. Before I share a few strategies for preserving reputation, there's something striking about this Deloitte and Zoom story. Here you have a policy rollback with no visible counterbalance in the media. No narrative about how, there might be new supports, no data showing how employee needs are still being met. It's creating a vacuum, and that vacuum shapes perception. And right now, it paints these companies as indifferent, even if that's not the intent. While legal and compliance departments give leaders the guardrails of what they can do, HR and people leaders give leaders the reason for why they should make people-centric decisions. When you think about it, parental leave isn't a frivolous perk. A recent study from KinderCare found that 85% of employees view childcare benefits on par with healthcare and retirement benefits. Think of those first few weeks with a child, a newborn, a new addition to the family. It's a whirlwind of bonding, medical appointments, childcare planning, and unpredictable needs. Most of us don't want to leave our little one alone, much less go back to work. Let's be honest. How many times did you look at a picture of your little one on your first day that you returned to work after taking parental leave? When companies reduce parental time, they're not just cutting costs. They're cutting into an employee's ability to show up fully once they return. Parental leave is infrastructure for a company. So here are some strategies that a company can use to counterbalance cuts or eliminations in their benefits programs. Strategy number 1, when the news about scaled back parental leave hit the news cycle, Deloitte and Zoom could have provided any quantitative or qualitative data that showed that this is how they reached their decision. For instance, most people might not even be taking the full amount of leave that's allocated in the leave policy. Years ago, when the Gates Foundation rolled out 365 days of parental leave, my insiders in the company told me that a very small fraction of employees were actually taking that full amount of leave. So providing this data gives the organization a reasonable rationale for its decision to scale back a benefit. Strategy number 2, if they were scaling back a parental leave policy, providing a balancing benefit like backup care and talking about how you offer it to employees could make the difference in how the public sees this decision. A benefit like this will ensure that the employer's claims that they are still invested in their employees' wellness does not ring hollow. Even if a few employees use the maximum leave and use backup care, someone's always going to need it. And strategy number 3, instead of scaling back, companies could explore options like a leave bank, where unused time can be shared with colleagues who need more support. A cost-neutral solution that still signals, we see you, we've got you. This is what a leave bank might be able to do. The reality is that some employees will never use these benefits, while others will continue to need them. As I often say, sometimes life is lifing. Having a pool for leave and backup care allows an employer to save costs and their reputation as an employer of choice. Caring for your people is caring for your business, and caring for your business is caring for your customers. A Gallup study recently found that employee engagement can result in 21% greater profitability for a company and 10% higher customer ratings. Deloitte and Zoom don't have to be the villains in this story. but they are good examples of how a fuller story could make all the difference in the labor market's perception. If you want more workplace insights, feel free to visit my firm's website. It's in the description of this program. And remember to hit the like button. Although I'm an employment attorney, I'm not your attorney, but we can change that. So, remember, always engage an attorney in your local area if you have any questions or need guidance.